we're in. Hope you can hear me. Oh, I don't think you can hear me. Bump that up a bit. Is that any better? Hang on. Everybody. There we go. That should be better. Too much. Too much. There we go. Bring it down a bit. Hello. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? There we go. Thanks for the nice haircut comment, Ras. I hope you can all hear me. Sorry about that. We've had some minor technical issues, hence why I'm running slightly late. Let me move. Is that going to move? Is that going to mess things up? Ah, there's a microphone! Go away. Oh, it's... Can it stay there? Probably not. It's a bit distracting. Sorry about this. We've had some... Oh no, now the green screen's in the way. Let's bunch that in. That way. No. Ah! Oh no, the curtain's coming down, everybody. Ah! This is just terrible. Here we go. Now I'm more central. Can I remove... Yeah, that'll do. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Apologies for Matt's a professional, I assume. Absolutely I'm a professional. How can you tell? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Sorry about the technical issues that we've been having. I hope you're all well. We're back in the studio, as you can see. As of next week, it will be compulsory. Not compulsory. That's not technically true. But next week we'll all be back in the office, so I should be able to pull more people in to come and keep me company during these trying times. But next week, don't worry, it'll be a full office, and unfortunately that's why no one's with me today, because there's just not that many people in the office or the studio. So yeah, there you go. So awesome. So this is going to be hopefully quite a quick stream, I hope, because I'm going to show the latest block. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you may remember we did a new stream, trademark, as you can see, stream where we showcased the new Geocorp blocks. That was the wings, the landing gear, the other stuff. There was other stuff. One thing that we didn't show because it wasn't ready is the variable mass adjustment block, which sounds really complicated, but it's not. And what I'm going to show today is exactly that. So I'm going to pick up from where I left off on the last new stuff stream, and I'm basically going to show. Oh, excuse my Slack. Need to mute that. That was my Slack, everybody, not yours. Don't worry about it. Mute that. Yeah, so we're going to show off the new variable mass block and in all its glory, and I'm going to try and add it to a Geocorp plane with no gyros on it. Let me turn the music down just a smidge. I feel that's a bit too loud. Let's knock you down to there. Too low. 4 is the right number. I'm on 5. That'll do. Right. Cool. So that's all we're going to be doing today, is building a new plane, or maybe picking up from where we left off with the last plane, and yeah, and showing off this new variable mass adjustment block. I don't know what its name is yet, but I'm excited to try it because, as I'm sure you wouldn't be surprised to hear, I haven't had a try on it yet, because, and I can't stress this enough, this is a very, very new block, like literally hot off the press. Our coder Django Django Beltane has literally just finished coding it. QA have had a quick pass on it, so it's in a state where we can showcase it, and we can showcase what it looks like. So I'm going to get into the game. As you can see, there is the game. Well, as you will be able to see. Let me just shift myself over a switch. Ooh. There we go. Alright, cool. So, let's load into a new game, shall we? Let's just get into the R&D labs. Now, again, this block is so is so new, it hasn't even got a corporation yet. So let me show you. If we go into accessory blocks, it's not in there. You can see it's not there. However, if I do some sneaky stuff, now I need to pause the music so I can hear what the game does. 1 second, everybody. Ta-da! I like that sound. That is a good sound. Let me replay the music. There we go. Let's just hit resume, and I'm just going to show you what this block looks like. So I need to go into, is it this? Is it this? What is the shortcut? Nope, don't want that one. There we go. Right, it's GSO. It's not GSO. It's Geocorp, and it is called. It begins with an M, so it's the Geocorp Mass Adjustment Block, I believe. Geocorp. Oh no, there's too many more to mass variable. Here we go. Here it is, everyone. So this is the mass variable block. You would have seen a screenshot of it. I think I've shared. Ignore that. Like, that was just me being dumb. Right, go away. And this is what it looks like. So this is the mass variable adjustment block. Again, name to be confirmed. This block no longer exists. That's how new this is. Let me reiterate this. This is such a new block. I don't even think our designers had a pass at. So Taku is one of our designers. It's not balanced, and which is a funny pun because this is meant to help balance your text. This block needs some tweaking. Let me get that in the way. To start off with, but as you can see, it has a radial menu, so we can reset to default mass. So the default mass will probably be somewhere in the middle, so 50, which stacks like a normal block. But if you go over to this mass settings, you get the slider. Now, people that use hovers will be familiar with this. You can change the weight, and as you change the weights, you can see the mass inside the block gets bigger. So let's try that again. So we can go this is as big as we can go, and it fills the whole space. Oh, it's so funny. This is so cool. We go all the way down, and it doesn't exist, or it acts as a little block. Now we realise this isn't actually technically scientifically possible, as far as I'm aware. If anyone in chat can let me know if this is actually possible, then good, because I'm pretty sure we're just making mass out of nothing. But that's what you can do in video games, right? So it's a variable mass adjustment block. I don't know. Think of a good name. Chat, come up with a better name for it than that. But you can see it kind of working already. You can see the animations working. I wonder if I can zoom. If I zoom in, maybe you'll get a better view. Unfortunately, the radial menu gets in the way a little bit. Such a smooth. You can see it moving doing its thing there. So that's just basically adding some weight, and it's going to act as a ballast block. So someone mentioned it in chat on. I'll do it on the scales. That's Dave. Thanks, man. You're the best. So Dave, known as Alt NPC on Twitch chat. So I'm going to go to the testing apparatus, and we can see exactly how this thing, fundamentally works. So I jump onto the scales, so you can see right now. Before I get on, I'm going to reset this to what it should be. So the default mass should be in the middle somewhere. Maybe I get off. Maybe if I do, does it need to be on a tech for me to use it? Probably. Yeah, it does. Right. You get the idea. So with it on this tech, we have a weight of 48.02, which doesn't really mean much. But if I do this. Guys, come on. Come on! Didn't we say we knew what we were doing somewhere along the line? And we can make it lighter. Now again, let me reiterate this. This block doesn't reduce the weight of your whole tech, it just reduces the weight of itself. So if we take this off, without it, we're at 39.50. With it, in its middle setting, we go to 48.02. If I send it all the way down, it still has weight. That's important. Not that it's a huge amount, but it still has weight even when it's at its lowest. And the idea of this block, like we mentioned earlier, is a ballast block. So if you were in a submarine or a ship or something like that that required ballast, it's sort of a similar thing. You can adjust the weight of your submarine if you needed to do nose dives and all that good stuff. This effectively does that for aeroplanes, because we know that the aeroplanes are awkward at times to build in TerraTech, so this just means that it just makes it easier. Rather than having to rely on gyros and that sort of stuff, you can add weight to the back or the front of your ship or your plane, so you can make things that fly. Now, here comes the okay, right. So you remember from my failed attempt to build a plane, was this what I came up with? Yes, this is what I came up with. I'm not going to do it again because this thing was broken, and I'm going to take the fans off because they don't work. Inside here is some gyroscopes, so I'm going to get rid of all these gyros because gyros are bad on planes when it comes to this sort of thing, apparently. What is good is ballast blocks, so what I'm going to do is just put the hull back on my ship. And then we're going to I'm not going to muck about making this look too fancy because, oh, hang on, sorry, I've forgotten to put the wheel back on. Wheel goes on. Come on. There you go. Right, wheel goes on there. And basically, I'm going to plot the variable mass adjustment block, or whatever you want to call it. I need to re-find it. Where is it? No. There you go. So you can see. Okay, right. I'll come back to that in a sec. Where did I find it? It was Geocorp. It was. Oh, this is a nightmare. So it was under. Solar panel, nope. Rotor prop, now gone more to mass variable. There we go, right. And basically, I'm going to plot this on the top here. And it should fit nicely. So as you can see when in my very quick example, very top heavy, very back heavy, don't die. Okay, right. So what I can do with the ballast block, or the variable mass adjustment block, increase the mass on the front. Doesn't do anything. Maybe I need more. Things are going to start exploding in a minute. My tech's going to die. Maybe I need more. Let's put more on. Do we put more on? Yeah, let's put more on. No. We need 1, 2 of those. So basically what I'm trying to do is get my nose to be heavier. Using the variable mass blocks. But it doesn't really want to affect it much. I'm going to die now anyway. Yeah, there you go. Right, okay. The back is too heavy. Back should not be too heavy. Maybe I should have taken a screenshot. Why didn't anyone remind me? Get rid of gyros. 1 gyro, 2 gyros, 3 gyros. I think it was just 4, wasn't it? Yeah, 4 gyros, and then we can put belly back on. Oops. 1 block there. Voila. Right. So the back is too heavy. So my solution to that is to make the front even heavier. Oh, this is where it all gets really complicated. But what I'm going to do is basically just fill the front of my tech with the new blocks and just see how much heavier I can make it. So I'm going to do. Let's just drop loads in. So let's go. Where's it gone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops. That was annoying. Come back. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where did the other one go? Now again, this is all very rushed. I haven't really planned this out very well, but this is just for demonstrative purposes only. Now let's see if this works. I've front loaded my tech, so it should be really heavy. Are we getting a lift? Oh, hang on, I'm still in car. Let's go to the aeroplane. Give me a lift! Give me a lift! Wait, do I still have gyroscopes in there? Because this is the problem that we had last time. Oops. There aren't any gyros in there. Have I just made it too heavy? Okay, so this is where the finer tweaking comes in, right? So let me make this a bit lighter. We're off! Still too much back weight. Okay, right, fine. There you go. Okay, right. So we just need to refine it. Refine it. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, this cab needs to not be as exposed. Maybe I'll put a different cab on. Let's put a different cab on so that every time I take a nosedive, I don't nearly die. That'll do. And you can go away. Right, well, I feel like I've fixed one problem and caused another. Chat, what am I doing wrong? Chat, let me know what I'm doing wrong. I guess you were going for a giant rubber ducky type of thought. That's exactly what the vibe I was going for. Will we be able to change the mass of it all at once? That would be a good idea, and I think someone else made the point that would be a good control block suggestion, is that you could control the mass of all the blocks at the same time. Front wheel too high. Put the wing further back. Your lift is at the front. Got you. So let's move our wings just a bit more further back. That feels better. Yeah, more central. That's a good idea, isn't it? I have high hopes for this. I feel like this is gonna go good. Now we're too heavy. We're too front heavy now. This is. Let me just take these off. No, still not there. Still not there. Still not there. Woo, that's fun. No. Ugh. Light block. Let's block this into here. And let's get these back on. Maybe I should have just adjusted the weight rather than maybe I should have just adjusted the weight. Let's knock these down a bit. Whoops. Are we there yet? No, still wants to just absolutely pitch up. Tail, as in a wing at the tail, or a tail at the wing? Wing at the tail. Is that what I'm missing? They'll help not doing backflips. Okay, cool, right. So we're going to need to make this thing bigger. We did have this problem last time, I remember. So let's try adding some... tails. So let's find lightweight blocks so we can build this thing out a bit. So I need to make it a bit longer so we can add a tail to it. I feel like one block should be enough actually. I don't want to go too far. Ooh, hang on. And then we put the roof on. And then we're going to find all the different permutations of where this block can go. That's the orientation, but not the position. Good, right. So in theory, I should be able to put a tail wing on there. So let's get all these blocks back on. That's not going to work, is it? Let's put just some normal blocks there so I can... Let's plop a... What block do I want to use? Let's go for this one. Put the roof back on. Where is it? Here we go. Right. Now we can put a back end on. Let's just put these straight on here. One there. One there, one there, one there. And then I think I can put my tail wings back on here. No, because I need something underneath. Something like this. Put the other way around. There we go. Now my tail wings will go there. And there. And now I can put actual tails on. Yeah, let's do that. That feels right. And then I'm going to take a screenshot because I feel like this is gonna be the one, everyone. Oh, look at it go. We have a flyer. I've made a geocorp plane that flies. Yay! And it does... and not a barrel roll. And then lands and then explodes. Beautiful. Just what I wanted. It's good. It's a good-looking plane, everyone. And what I can do with these new variable mass blocks, let me just take these off because they're not very good-looking. And I'm going to put the curvy boys back on, or the corner boys back on, even, which is these ones. maybe, do you know what? Maybe even put the old cab back on. Now that I know I can fly it. Take a screenshot of that, a snapshot of that, save that, let's overwrite it. Oh, it flies so good, everyone. I'm so good at this game. Backflip. Whoosh. Whoever thought he'd see the day where Geocorp would take to the skies. Plenty, you've got enough lift, you have enough thrust. Those variable mass adjustment blocks. Again, chat needs to come up with a better name than that. Don't crash. And let's just see. Hovertext might be a good way to say it. Oh, okay, I've sent a message to say the hovertext might be a better way to show off the new blocks. That is probably a good shout. Instead, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna bump these up a bit. Just see, feel like the nose is still pitching up a little bit. There we go. Oh, so good, so stable. Say that. Let me. Yeah. GSO Skyduck. That's the vibe. Oh no, I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna crash. Hey, build beam to the rescue. Actually, these wheels need to be lower down. There you go. I'm so proud of myself, chat. I did a thing. Actually, you know, I didn't even need these blocks. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There you go. So those are the new blocks. Those are the new variable mass adjustment blocks that allow you to sort of adjust the ballast of your techs, give your techs more weight at the front or more weight at the back, whichever way you need it. If you're finding that you're having a sort of... Yeah, it is beautiful, Seth Garns. Thank you very much on YouTube chat. It is beautiful. It's a good looking tech. I'm happy with it. You get the idea. I think what also we can do, if I have any, which I don't think I do, is show it off. Actually, I'm just going to load into the only hover that I know this could work on. Is to show a new, show the block on HoverTech. Because I think this is another good use case for it. So you've seen there, you can use it as a ballast block on airplanes or ships or crafts, things like that. But what we can also do is use it on hovers. So let me load in the. Where is it? I am missing it. I'm in GSO, that's why. I need to go into. Right, you need to stop floating around. That's not helpful. So let's just put you in build beam. And I need the mass 1, 2. I'll give you 2 of them. I fully expect this to not work, but again, this is purely for demonstrative purposes only. Let's put this thing in hover. Now, I want to put more weight at the back, so I'm going to shift that weight downwards. I'm going to want to put more weight at the front, less weight at the front, so I'm going to shift this one upwards. And what that's going to do is kind of give me a bit of an angled hover type thing. And this will be useful for, if you want to have like a hover that's at a pitched sort of trim, and I know we have a pitched trim drive for that, but they can be sometimes a bit intrusive. This one just gives you a bit more control over that. Basically, as with all things in TerraTech, this thing is a lot of fun to use. It gives you a lot of utility, a lot of things for you to play around with. You should go check it out, is what I'm trying to say. As soon as this is released, so you have noticed we released an unstable build last night or yesterday, so that is now available on the unstable branch, the unstable version on Steam. That has all the new flight blocks, which I think I showed off a couple of weeks ago. It has all of these blocks in it. So the propellers, the jet engines, the wings, and a few more of the lightweight corner blocks as well. So this should be in the next unstable release, which once QA needs to give this a good once over, make sure that it doesn't cause the game to crash or anything like that. But this should be available hopefully by the end of the week, maybe early next week, in the unstable branch, and then we will release this as a stable version, sort of towards the end or beginning of basically 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. This should be available to everybody on Steam. For the console players, it'll be a little bit after that, but that is always the nature of the beast. I think that's kind of everything, really. I've sort of run out of things to showcase. All of the new stuff was just this new really cool block, which I think is really fun. What can I tell you about the other stuff? Let me go into the close-up, because this is important. So you remember a few weeks ago we talked about the resource radar. Yes, we have a resource radar, hopefully coming. It's definitely in the works. Have I got anything to show? No, I don't. Pictures? No, I've done that one. Never mind. Yeah, the resource radar. So we've prototyped a few ideas. I think the one that we're going to run with, at least for now, for the prototype, is having a load of node icons on your mini-map. So, you know, if you're sort of circling through the grass biome, you'll see a lot of trees. Yeah, someone said resource radar. So let's just recap on that, actually, because I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to be giving people the wrong idea. The resource radar goes back way before TerraTech was released. It was a sort of a block that we liked the idea of, but couldn't really place because it required a lot of other things to sort of fit into it. And it was placed. It was around the time when mining AI was a thing. If anyone remembers mining AI, the AI would go off and do your mining for you and bring it back to your base. Then we introduced trading station or multiple trading stations. So the mining AI didn't know what to do, got a bit confused, and we had to change all that. So the resource radar was to kind of help with that theme of like automated and easier mining and that sort of stuff. And the resource radar block actually existed. It didn't do anything. It was like a placeholder block, and it was literally a placeholder. It didn't do anything. It was just a block that sat on your tech and did nothing. So we sort of toyed around with the idea and sort of gave everyone the idea that it could work. In theory, it should work, but we never actually got around to implementing it because things changed. You know, goalposts changed, and we sort of had other higher priorities. But we've come back to it, and we like the idea of adding something like a resource, or not something like, but adding a resource radar. So rather than sort of going gung ho and adding it and sort of, you know, that being it, we were going to prototype it and really sort of flesh the idea out, which you should always do. Something like this, you should always sort of try and I'll say prototype and make sure it actually works the way you want it to and it doesn't break, yada yada yada. Because while at face value, like the ballast block or the variable mass block, that's a block. For example, that's a block that you can just add, adds functionality to your tech, and it affects your tech directly. Something like a resource radar has huge implications, and I don't say that lightly, because things like terrain generation, like it needs to know what terrain is going to be generated ahead of time, and that feeds into loads of other different systems, and it gets really confusing and really kind of awkward. Also, not to mention the mini map, like you need some sort of interactivity or some sort of interactivity with the mini map, or something to indicate on the mini map that it's there. These are things that there's lots of other systems that are involved in all that, and there's things that sort of link together when it comes to that sort of stuff. So the resource radar, we're prototyping it properly, and we are at the point where we kind of have an idea of how we want it to function, which is the first step. So we've prototyped it. We have a semi-functional sort of thing working in our development branch. And now we're kind of fine-tuning that a little bit. So we've decided it's going to be, well, we haven't decided yet. We think it's going to be little icons that appear on your mini-map that show you, very small icons. Because the problem that we're going to have, and the problem that we've always had with these things is sort of UI real estate. Your HUD, your heads-up display real estate. The last thing you want is a cluttered heads-up display, because it gets really confusing, and especially with a game like TerraTech, when there's a lot of other stuff going on, a lot of other stuff to think about. You don't want it sort of taking up too much space. And having loads of icons in your mini-map can be a bit cluttered. Especially when you're in things like the grasslands, where it's just full of trees and it can really look cluttered. So what we're thinking of doing is doing a really small little dot that reflects a node, and therefore you can go and you can do that. And we're also talking, you can find where the node is in the world, and therefore you can mine that resource, which should be really helpful. We're also you can also toggle. I think we're adding a feature to toggle it, so you can toggle which resource you want to find. So you can filter what you, and also you can just turn it off. Maybe you can't at a time when you don't want to have it on all the time, so you can just turn it off. Like it's in with the variable mass block, there'll be a radial menu where you can adjust stuff. Similar to the filter as well, I imagine it will act similarly to that. One thing that we really like the idea of is having it consume the resource that you want to look for in order to use it. So that was an alternative to the toggling feature. So you can either have it where you just tell it to go find this block and have it appear on your minimap, or if you already have a resource of that type, you feed it into the resource radar and it'll tell you, or it'll show you on your minimap where they are in the world, so you can go and find it, or you can go and find more of that block. What we also like, and this might be a bit harsh, so I'd love to hear people's opinions on this, is to have it as a cooldown. So it feeds into the resource radar, and you can only search. It will only that block, that resource will only appear on your minimap for a certain amount of time, probably 5 minutes, maybe less, maybe more. As a kind of because I guess the worry with the resource radar is that it becomes a bit too powerful, and that you can literally just go and find the rarest resource really easily. Because right now you're kind of relying on exploration to find it. You kind of have to go and find, go to a new biome and search for it, and particularly all the really rare stuff. Whereas if the resource radar feels a bit strong. So with that in mind, it'll probably be like a late grade or a late stage block. You don't want to get it too early because we want to, especially in the early game, we want to encourage exploration and trying to find all this other cool stuff, because that then makes you do more exploration and find more cool stuff, obviously. But the resource radar is, as I say, it's still a work in progress. I haven't got anything to show for you today on that. Literally, today's stream was the variable mass block, but the resource radar is still being worked on. So yeah, I just wanted to give everyone an update on that. Those are the sort of things that we're considering for the next stage of the prototype. Hopefully on the next new stuff stream, I can showcase a bit more of it, maybe show you a mock-up or two. So there you go. What else have I got to announce? Console updates, they're still on the go. I need to get an update on exactly where we're up to with those, but they are don't worry, they are still a work in progress, and we are still looking to get those into certification as soon as possible. I think it's just a case now for us just to clear up a few bugs, but that should all be done pretty soon. Lovely stuff. Right, what time are we on? I think I'm going to have to leave it there. I've sort of run out of cool new stuff to showcase. Next week we'll be doing Community Core. Like I mentioned, everyone will be back in the office next Wednesday, so I should be able to drag a few people up and come join me and keep me company while we stream. I'm going to leave it there. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing everyone next week. What can I do? I was going to offer some something in. Oh, that was it. Also, we've announced, if you're on Discord, if you're on our Discord channel, if you're on our Discord server, we have a couple of new channels. So we have the feedback category, and under that we have polls and suggestions. So the polls channel obviously is where we post polls and get people to vote on stuff. The suggestions channel is where you can suggest stuff to us, and it can be anything that you'd like to see in TerraTech. So that can be new blocks, it can be bug fixes, it can be new features, it can be quality of life updates, it can be literally anything that you would like to see us to do in TerraTech. You can post your suggestion in there, and then other people can come along and upvote it or downvote it with thumbs up and thumbs down reaction emojis. And then that gives us an idea about what people would like or wouldn't like in TerraTech. It's actually really, really useful, and it's only been live about a week. We've already had over 100 suggestions, It's almost too much. It's almost too many for us to get through, but that's good. That's a good problem for us to have. So go check it out. It's really cool. It's really useful. Genuinely, really, really useful for us. Really useful. So yeah, have a look. Would be useful if I shared a link to our Discord. Let me do that now. Here's a link to our Discord server. Go check it out, everybody. It's really good fun. It's a fun, safe place to be, to chat about TerraTech and lots of other stuff. Cool. That was it from me. Community call next week, everyone. So tune in for that. And yeah, we'll see everyone next time. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.